Hi, Tribers. Welcome to another interesting session. If you can hear us, if you can see us properly, please let me know in the comments. I'll just check on Tribe if we can see this post. Please let me know if you can see us. I'll just check if this post is visible, and once we see ourselves. Yes, and we are live. Hi, Tribers. All those who have already joined us, please let me know where you're watching us from. I would love to know where all our tribers are connecting with us today for this live session. We have a very interesting live session today, and it's going to be very relevant for all of you. So please stay tuned and please look forward to this session. It's going to be very interesting. So in the meanwhile, please let me know which city you're joining us from. Okay, so let's begin. Today's session is very interesting, as I already mentioned. And this session is going to be about financial planning for expecting parents and new parents. And for this session, we have an expert with us. Today, we have with us Rebecca Prakash. Rebecca Prakash is from LXMI. LXMI, or LXME, is India's first neobank in the making, which is exclusively for women. It offers saving, lending, and investment services to enable women to be financially independent. Rebecca is the community manager of LXMI, and she is an NISM certified expert. Her mission is to help women become financially literate and self-sufficient. Welcome to the session, Rebecca. Would you please like to say some lines for our viewers?
Hello, Shweta. First of all, thank you so much for inviting me. And before I could say something, I also want to mention that I'm one of the SuperBottoms moms. I'm big fan of SuperBottom products, and my daughter is a SuperBottom daughter as well. I have used from I think we started with the cloth diapering. So I used to be that crazy mom, who will buy whatever SuperBottoms is launching, from Poopy Face to periwinkle, whatever. I have given all the products, but I gave off all the products of my daughter, but then the SuperBottoms product I haven't. I still have that. Also, my daughter is a great fan of the A-line dress you guys have. So yeah, SuperBottom is like family, and I have been part of this community for a very long time. And whenever I see a lot of questions here, and I always think that I should also get a chance to speak about finance to your community, and that is why I approached you as well. And yeah, thank you so much again for inviting us.
It's so nice to know that you are a SuperBottoms fan. Great. So you are one amongst the tribers already. So
exactly.
Thank you so much for accepting the invitation and being here with us to answer all our queries today. So Rebecca, let's proceed with our first question.
Yeah.
We know that a lot of parents are often sort of clueless, or they don't know where to begin with as soon as they hear the good news that they are going to expect a baby and someone new is going to join the family very soon. But a lot of times the parents are busy thinking about a lot of other things, and one aspect which is left behind, which nobody gives a thought to, is usually the financial planning. So could you please shed some light on where should the new parents begin their financial planning, and at what stage can they begin their financial planning?
Sure. And I would also like to share my screen so that I can share the deck. Can you give me access?
One. I've shared the access. Can you share your screen now?
Yeah. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, this would be a very interesting question where we can say, like, when to start, the financial planning for a newborn baby. So should I wait till the baby gets his or her own name? Or should I wait for the birth certificate and all that? However, all we say is, like, as early as possible. So there's no timeline here. You can start when you are pregnant. You can
Mm.
start when you think that, you want to, you plan that, okay, maybe by next year that I'll plan for a baby, and, I will deliver. So, or if you're a newborn mom or parents, or, your child is already going to school. So there's no timeline like that. However, if you're starting as early as possible, you can start. So many confuse with the savings and investment for a child, because they always think that my child should have a name. I can invest only on my child's name. And so, I need the birth certificate, other things and all that. So, but the truth is, yes, of course, there are certain plans. Like if you have a girl child, then you can start, say, investing in Suganya Samriddhi Yojana. So, same way, there is a minor PPF, which you can take for both boys and girls. And in South, they also have something called Selva Magan Thitam, that is for boy child, which is again similar to PPF, minor PPF. So not necessarily, we need to wait for all this and then start, saving for our kid. Of course, you can start all this. However, the investment can also be in your name, and the nominee can be your kid. So, for example, like, if I'm pregnant, then the moment I get pregnant, I can start doing some SIP or invest in mutual funds. Maybe for a period of, like, say 15 years or something, then it would be useful for my kid when he or she goes to college. So, the main thing is, like, the miracle of compounding. It happens like when the day you start investing. Compounding is nothing but interest pay interest. So you invest 100 rupees in mutual funds, or like SIPs, then you get 120 rupees as an interest. So what happens is, the next interest cycle, you will get interest for 120 rupees. So that's called compounding. Compounding happens when you get interest on interest. So that is really magic. So when that happens, you can save for your kids' education, kids' college, or, if you want to get your kid married. These days, like, a lot of girls as well as boys, they want to become an entrepreneur. They want to try their own, want to open their own company or whatever. So such way you can, like, start saving for your kids. So not necessarily that you have to put all those money only in the kid's name. It can be in your name as well.
Right. You just, mentioned a very important point here, that people often think that they need to invest in their child's name. Now, very often what happens is, when your child is becoming a little bit older and you actually want to start to open these accounts like this Sukanya Samruddhi Yojana account, what are the documents that you need for your child so that you can open a bank account for your child, or you can, apply for these schemes?
Suganya Samriddhi Yojana, all you need is a birth certificate. Apart from that, nothing. That is what
Okay.
needed. Not even PAN card, not even Aadhaar card, nothing. So you
Okay.
just need a birth certificate. So as soon as you get the birth certificate, I think birth certificate these days in 40 days you can get. So I started for I have a daughter, and I started by 40th day I got the birth certificate, and I immediately went to the post office and I started. So Suganya Samriddhi Yojana, it can be started anywhere, even your bank will do, or you can go to the post office and do. So any place you go, they will be starting. Same with minor PPF, minor bank account, everything. For everything, all you need is a birth certificate.
Okay. Okay. How much should parents be budgeting for child related expenses like diapers, clothing, food? Because these expenses often don't seem like they are big ones, but when you actually start spending on them, they become one of the major expenses that new parents have to incur. So, how do you suggest they budget for these unforeseen expenses?
Okay. So we call this as a golden rule of budgeting. This applies for us. Again, same way, this applies for our kids' expense also. So what is the golden rule of budgeting is like 50, 30, 20. Okay. So out of your salary or income, whatever you're earning, 50% of your salary can go to the needs. Needs is something which you cannot avoid, like clothing, food, groceries, your transportation, medical expense. When it comes to kids, of course, their vaccination, their diapers, be it cloth diapering or like the throwaway diapers, whatever, their school fees, their basic needs, their if it is a formula fed babies and formula. So these are things which you cannot avoid, right? You need to have it. So that is why we call this at needs. So make sure that your 50% of salary can go towards a need. When it comes to wants, what are wants? Wants, only 30% of your salary you can spend it on your wants. Don't go beyond that. Wants can be like, you want to throw a birthday party for your kid, or you want to buy something like, online, matlab, some toys are there, or some books are there. Like, see, your baby can be without that, right? Your baby can be without that, but still, in order to educate your child, or you want to entertain your child, you want to buy something like that, or maybe getting a cycle or whatever, that comes under wants. So make sure that you don't confuse your wants and needs. Your child needs a diaper for sure, right? But then your child can be without having a birthday party. That's okay. These days many of them, they don't throw a birthday party, so that's okay. So make sure that you don't confuse both. Have a very clear cut idea that this is my baby's need and I will be spending money for all this. So it's okay even if I'm putting 50% of my salary towards that. But then these are something which my baby might not need. A baby will not even understand what is a birthday party is. But then still parents go ahead and throw. That's okay. But then see if that comes under like the 30% of your budget. We are not saying that don't buy toys, don't buy books, don't buy this, that. We are not saying anything like that. We are saying if that comes under your 30% of your budget, then go ahead and have it. There's no issue in that. And 20% of your salary should go towards your child's education, your retirement, like your financial goals or whatever. Make sure that 20 or more percentage of your salary should definitely be saved and invested somewhere.
Okay, great points. I can see a lot of tribers are joining us. So just to update everybody, we are talking about how new parents can go about with their financial planning, new and expecting parents, financial planning for new and expecting parents. So all the tribers who have just joined us, please let us know which city you're joining us from. And please click on the like button so that we know that you're enjoying the session. So Rebecca, the next question I have for you is, what types of insurances can parents consider as a priority before they have a child or just after they've had a child?
Yeah. Okay. So you need both, health and term insurance. Both are very, very important. And COVID proved us the importance of health insurance, right? Like, people were spending 3-4 lakhs, just for 1-2 days of hospitalization. And that is when we all realized that how important, the health insurance is. So if you do not have any insurance on you or for your kids, then this is the time, go ahead and take it. These days you can take a family floaters, matlab, like, you, your husband, or the kid, and the newborn, like, if you have one child, two child, it would be coming under called family floaters. You can take that. So all of you will be covered under maybe like 20 lakhs a year, 10 lakhs a year. There are, any health insurance company will help you with that. The family floaters is very cheap compared to the individual health insurance. So please go ahead for that. If you already have an health insurance for you and your wife and you and your husband, but then now if you're expecting or if you have a child already, then remember that anything can happen anytime. Touch wood, nothing should happen, but still, so it's better to include their name and or take a separate insurance for them. So health insurance is must here. So make sure that you also take it for your kids. Again, when it comes to term insurance, it is always better to have a term insurance, even if you when many people will say that I'm a lady, so I am not the breadwinner of the family, it's just my husband. But then we would say that even if you're not a breadwinner of the family, but still go ahead and have a term insurance, because when something happens, at least, your kids, dream will not come to a halt. Say, for example, there is someone called A, and that person has a dream for her child that, that she wants to become a pilot, and she'll be saving some amount. She'll be investing some amount, but she is not the breadwinner. However, when something happens to her, the child's dream might, go away. So make sure that you also have a term insurance. So even if you're there, if you're not there, your child will have her dream. Your child will become a pilot. So term insurance is very important. Apart from all this, make sure that you have a proper nomination here. Again, in COVID, this is what happened. Many of them were not getting proper money and all that because nomination was not done. So make sure that if you have a term insurance and health insurance, make sure that your kid's name is also added so that they will get the amount. If something happens to you. It's a very tricky topic to discuss. People might feel that I'm doing well. Why should I discuss? But then it's very important to discuss, such topics at home as also.
Very true. Very true. Also, how should people save for the child's education? Because in the early childhood, they are saving up more for the child's daily requirements, right? But education is also a huge expense and almost a life, like almost till the baby reaches adulthood and early adulthood expense. So how can parents go about planning child's education expenses?
Yeah. So this is a very important topic, and these days, like all the kids, they want to go abroad and study. It's not like that. During our time, we just went to local college and studied. But then, if you see my cousins, like my niece and nephews, they all want to go abroad and study. So the entire planning and everything, it has to be changed. So you cannot think that, okay, I have land here, I have some jewels, I will just sell off and I'll send my kids to college. So that is not going to help. So the need gap. So not recently, actually, last year during our Women's Day time, we actually did a survey, and we spoke to around 4,000 women from all three tier cities, tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 cities, both working. I mean, going to office and homemakers as well. And we got a lot of insights, data from them. So one was the key driving for a goal for a woman, anyone who was saving and investing. When we asked them, why do you invest, for what is your goal, 70% of moms said that we are investing for our kids, we are investing for our kids education. Only 2% of them are saving for their retirement. So imagine how I won't say it is a very good thing to do, but then this is what women's mind is tuned as. It's okay even if I don't have a retirement plan, but then I want to invest for my child. I want to make sure that my child gets proper education and everything. So that is how the women have become, the moms have become. And like almost 50% of them said it is for the child education. Few of them said like for child's needs and all that, but 50% of them said that it is for child's education. So that is why it's very important to plan your child's education, how to plan, where to invest the money, how long I should invest to get that corpus and all that.
Right.
Yeah. So how do we plan? So this is a vast subject. So if you guys want to take notes or take a screenshot, please do. But then this is very useful as well. So factors to consider while planning for your child's education. Okay. One size doesn't fit all. So Shweta might have a different goal. If she is, I'm not sure whether Shweta is married and have a kid, but her, goal, everything will be different than mine. Okay. So when you're planning for your child's education, first you need to consider your child's age, the admission age. What are you saving for? Are you saving for your child's college education, or your child is a newborn and you're saving some amount to put your child in K1, that is KG1, when a child turns 4 years old? So you have to take the admission age. Current education cost. What is the current education cost? Now the cost of engineering or doctorate, or or doctor medicine, or if you want to become an aeronautical engineer, whatever, it might be maybe 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs. But the inflation is it's rising. If when your child goes to college, takes up a seat of medicine at the age of say 18, which is like after 18 years, the fees is not going to be 20 lakhs. It's going to be 80 lakhs or 1 crore. You don't know, it's going to be high. So make sure that, what is the current education cost, and you need to, almost the inflation is going under, 10%. So it's going to be after 10-15 years, the inflation rate would be 10%. So you have to calculate that way. That is why, like inflation rate should also be, you have to keep in mind expected rate of return. Okay, someone told me to invest in PPF, so I'm investing in PPF. But will that PPF amount is enough after 18 years to put your son or daughter in medicine, in medical college? So you need to have that, have that clarity there. Expected rate of return. Goals, like, is it a short-term goal or long-term goal? As I said, someone's kid might be in 10th standard. In another 4 years, this person is going to, this person's child will be in college. So that's a short-term goal. So accordingly, you need to invest and save money so that your kid will go to the college with the money. But my child is only 5 years. So my goal is long-term. So only after, maybe in another 13 years, my child will go to college. So my goal is long-term. So I'm doing aram se. So, my investment pattern is a little different from yours. So we can also see like investment options to achieve this goal. There are a lot of investment options, both government schemes and as well as private or whatever. So there are protectors. We call this as asset classes, and there are protectors. Matlab, you will not have any loss in that. Whatever amount you are putting there, that that will be there. Whatever it is, you will get back that amount. That is fixed deposit. PPF, Public Provident Fund, debt mutual funds, Suganya Samriddhi Yojana, which we discussed, gold. That's another easy way to invest. People think that if I'm investing in gold, it's set. When I say gold, it's not the jewelry. When jewelry is like, we call it as luxury, because when you buy jewelry, you pay tax, you pay making charge, you pay wastage charge and everything. You pay so much and then you acquire that gold. So that doesn't come under investment at all. It comes as a luxury. When we say gold, it is a smart way of buying gold, like SGB, sovereign gold bond, gold mutual funds, ETF, digital gold, whatever. So that is what we are saying gold when we say asset class gold. Then there are value creators. Value creators is like, you all know that, these days people talk about shares, stocks and all this, that is called equity. Then we also have equity mutual funds, where people will put certain amount of money in mutual funds. That is like, it can be through SIP or it can be through lump sum. So we saw what are all the options available. So many of you will think that, why should I go for, mutual funds and all that? Because, mutual funds is related to market risk. I don't understand shares and stocks. So let me go ahead and put the money in PPF, FD and, be there. But what we need to understand is investing alone in FD, PPF, where you get an interest rate of very less interest rate, like 6 to 7%. Say if you're keeping the money in the bank, you get 4% interest. If you put it in FD, 6%, maybe 7%. So will that 6%, 7% of interest, will it help? It will not. You need to have a inflation beating return. When your inflation is at 10%, your investment should be above the 10%. You should get the returns at 14, 15. That is how you can, after so many years, you will get some amount and you will see the benefit. If not, your amount will grow very slowly. Okay. So this is one example. Again, just give me a minute. Okay. So this is an indicative value. Okay. So you put 1 lakh rupees, in bank account. Okay. And you're not touching it for 15 years. Okay. Let's say you put 1 lakh as a lump sum and you will not touch for 15 years. If you keep that amount 1 lakh in savings account for 15 years, end of 15 years, if in savings account, you will be getting 18 lakhs and 76,000. If you're putting it in fixed deposit, you will get 26 lakhs 20,000. If you are putting it in Suganya Samriddhi Yojana, you will get 28,032 lakhs. And if you are putting it in public provident fund, you will be getting 27 lakhs 12,000. But if you are putting it in mutual funds, like through SIP or lump sum, you will be getting 56 lakhs 85,000. Again, mutual funds are subject to market risk, but then this doesn't mean that you will all the whatever money you're putting in mutual funds, you will lose it. Not like that. Mutual funds works best when you have patience, when you invest for long term. 15 years is a good amount of time, where you will put your money and you will not touch it. As we discussed before, interest pay interest. That is why, if you see none of the asset class, none of the scheme, be it savings, fixed, Sukanya Samriddhi, public provident, none of them gives interest on interest. They will give interest only for the amount what you have in your bank. That's all. However, only in mutual funds, they will be giving you interest on interest. So that is why you see a huge difference of 56 lakhs and 85,000. If you are selecting a proper mutual funds, and if you know that, it can be to a direct one, it can be through an investment, mutual fund distributor like Lakshmi, where we keep checking, okay, every 6 months we do this, is this mutual fund working better? If not, we should change the mutual fund. So we keep doing all this. So if you're sure that, this mutual fund is good one, and if you should also do some checking, for past 7 years, what is the result? How did it perform? I mean, when they are saying 15% return, what was the, return for the last few years? Is it a proper promise? So you need to check, certain things. However, if you're doing all that, trust me, mutual funds is the best way to invest for your kids.
So, Rebecca, thank you for explaining compounding so well, because in schools, we just learn the formula of calculating compounding interest, but it's very important that we learn how to actually use compounding interest to our benefit in our everyday lives and in the investment profile, So thank you for sharing that with us. Yeah, please continue.
So compounding is like, even Warren Buffett says compounding is the 8th miracle of world. So compounding is magic. Compounding is everything. It's a miracle, we would say. So don't lose that. The day you put 100 rupees, your compounding will start, working. So that is why you get good returns. Okay. So now we will see the the say parameters, like if you want to invest your money, what are all the parameters we have to see. Screen is up. Okay. If you're putting your money in Suganya Samriddhi Yojana, the minimum amount, this also you guys can take notes or take a screenshot. The minimum investment you need to do is rupees 250, and the maximum investment is 1.5 lakhs. So that is this is all for one financial year. If you're putting it in fixed deposit, the minimum amount is 1,000 rupees. There is no maximum limit. You can put in crores also. Public provident fund, minimum amount you need to put is 500, and the maximum amount is 1.5 lakhs. If it is mutual funds, actually 3,000 is also a good amount. Even if you see with Lakshmi, even 100 rupees you can start investing in mutual funds, and there is no maximum limit. Here also you can invest as much as you want. So this is very important. Return of investment, this is 7.6% per annum. This is the interest you get if you are investing in Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. Fixed deposit 7%. Now recently 3 to 7%. Again, it depends on how much money you are investing and which bank you are choosing. Like banks like ICICI, HDFC and all that, they give up to 7%. But they also have certain rules, like you need to invest at least minimum 1 lakh or something. However, there are banks who also takes 1,000 rupees also as an as an FD, but their interest rate would be little less. Public provident fund is 7.1%. Again, mutual funds, most of the mutual funds target returns is 15% per annum. This is maturity period. Again, maturity period is something very important. Like I'm putting the money for my kid, but suddenly I realize that, I cannot afford to put that money in that particular bond, or like, I want to cancel it. How do I do it? People just go ahead and cancel it, but then you make sure that, what is the maturity period like? Can you cancel it in the middle? Or if you're doing it, will you have any loss? So you need to check all that also. So for the maturity period for Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana is 21 years. Matlab, even if your baby is newborn, if you're taking it, only after 21 years, you will be able to remove the money. But after your daughter turns 18, at that point of time, you can remove up to 50% of money for school, college, education, or anything like that. However, you cannot redeem the entire money. You have to wait for 21 years. So it's very important to, before starting Suganya Samriddhi Yojana, you need to make sure that if you say if your kid is already 7 years old, okay, and if you're putting it for 21 years, imagine only when your child is 32 or 33, like that, only at that point of time, the money will be redeemed. Only at that point of time, she can remove the money. And the money will be given to her and not to you. So there are a lot of pros and cons. So you need to, check all that information before investing. When it comes to fixed deposit, the minimum days maturity date is 7 days and the maximum is 10 years. But if you're, redeeming the amount, removing the amount within those dates, and again, you will not get that 7% interest. They will reduce it and they will give you. So if you're putting it in fixed deposit, see, make sure that you don't remove it in the middle. Make sure that you complete those years you have selected. Public Provident Fund is another one, 15 years. Till 15 years, you cannot remove the money. So don't put one big amount of money in Public Provident Fund and, get stuck there. So whatever you can afford, only put that amount. SIP mutual funds there is no time period. If you are putting it today, you can remove tomorrow. Of course, there are exit load and all that. However, if you're putting it today and tomorrow you need that money, you can always remove it. Again, with mutual funds, say for example, you have around maybe 1 lakh in your mutual funds. Okay, you have a 1 lakh in mutual funds, and you want around 50,000, maybe for some emergency is happening. You want some money. If it is an RD or something, then you need to break the entire, RD and FD to remove that 50,000. However, in mutual funds, even if you have 1 lakh, if you just want 50,000, you can remove 50,000 and keep the another 50,000 to grow. So it's very, very flexible in removing and adding money here. This we already discussed. Premature withdrawal upon the girl child attaining 18 years, we can remove 50%. However, the entire money will be done only after 21 years. Allowed with the payment of penalty, we already have upon completing 5 financial years. After completing 5 financial years, then you can take certain amount of money. Here there is no restriction. Again, taxation comes here. So the Suganya Samriddhi Yojana, there is no tax. Fixed deposit, if you're removing it, there is a taxable amount. Public Provident Fund is, tax free. But then when it comes to SIP mutual funds and capital gain taxes per holding or period, so there will be, capital gain. Again, it depends on one mutual fund to other. One can be as less as 0.2%. One can be up to 2%. So it all, depends.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you for explaining everything in such detail. We do have viewers' questions coming in. So Disha is asking, what are some good options for investing for your retirement?
For retirement, any long-term mutual funds are good for retirement, which is equity-based plans. What is equity? Equity is, see guys, I'm giving you example, in a very local, colloquial language, so that, everyone can understand. Because when I joined Lakshmi, I was also not understanding many things. And when it was explained to me very clearly in a very local language, layman language, that is when I understood. So that is why I'm explaining to you in local language. So equity is something, say for example, there is a company called ABC. Okay. ABC company has a good profit, and ABC company wants to develop his or her business. So now ABC company will say that, I want to sell few of my shares, And if you are, purchasing it, and certain amount of tax, certain amount of shares will be under your name. And then people will start buying the equity shares. So you will be holding shares of ABC company to some, very small amount. It can be small or big amount, whatever. So when the company grows, obviously ABC company, is selling the share to improvise their business, right? So they'll be putting that money in some other thing, and then they will be developing. So when the company has a good, profit, you will also be getting whatever the amount was promised to you, like, this is that 15% return or 12% return, you will be getting that 12%, 13% result. So again, equity is something which works for long term, which is best for your retirement, because equity, it takes time. A company cannot grow within 1 week or within 1-2 years, right? It needs time. So that is why we say people panic, like, I have invested in equity, but then it is not going, it is going down. That's okay, don't panic, because you have invested in equity. It's going to take a lot of time, for them to, show performance and improve themselves. So we say that equity is best suited if you want to invest more than 4 to 15 years, 20 years, like that. So for retirement, you can do that. Then these days, gold is also performing really well. You can invest in gold mutual funds or SGB, that is sovereign gold bond, where you will be purchasing these mutual funds, will be sold out in the gold market. So if you're investing in that gold market, you will get a certain amount of money. So if you see in Lakshmi, we have gold mutual funds. Actually, what the rate of returns, what we promised was like only 8%, because that time the gold was like that only 8%. Again, it was a good amount. However, right now, if you see, it is going till 13% return, 15% return already, because now gold market is going good. Gold has never failed us. Indians are obsessed with gold, be it anything, jewelry or anything. Even for gifting, we give coins and everything. So gold is something which will not leave us. So gold is another best way to invest for your retirement. When you say retirement, do not touch that money. Few people, they will be saving it for some time, then they will remove it immediately. Don't do that. Let the money stay there and have that fruit of compounding.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, for sharing such great insights with us. And I'm sure our tribals are going to have a lot of great takeaways from today's session. Thank you so much for taking out your precious time and sharing all this knowledge with us. Do you have any parting thoughts for today?
Okay, I think we missed out on one tax questions, right? Or maybe I missed out.
No, you did. You did touch upon the tax bracket at some point, I believe.
Okay, I think, yeah. So there was a question like, explain additional tax benefits one can claim in the child related thing. So you can claim various tax benefits as form of deduction and exception for, child education, hostel fees, even if you are taking, Suganya Samriddhi Yojana, PPF or anything. With ATC, you can even take about 1.5 lakhs. So apart from this, if you're educating your child, hostel fees and all that, there is a tax benefits as well. Sorry, I missed out that thing. So there is, what I want to say is, ladies, do talk about money. We talk about a lot of things, about makeup, about our family problem, about our kids and everything. However, when it comes to money, that we always shy away. We don't talk, we are not very confident. But then if you see, maybe if you're going for a party, if you see, men will be talking about, hey, I invested in Adani, I invested here, I invested there, what is your rate of return? That is how they talk. Unfortunately, as women, we don't take part in that conversation. But now this is time to, break the barrier. That is why even Lakshmi is the first financial platform for women only. We thought like, acha, men, like, stay away. We want women to, like, it should be a judgmental free zone where women should come and talk about the money hurdles, what exactly is, sometimes people will ask a very, they think that, my question can be silly question, but no question is silly. So that is why we have a group called Being Lakshmi Community. So if you are, of course, you are part of Facebook. So please do check out our group. There are 40K women there. It is only a women-only community. It's a closed community like SuperBottoms. So you can ask all your questions and everything. And yes, let's talk about money.
Wonderful. Great. Thank you so much for being here with us today and for sharing all this priceless knowledge with us. Thank you once again from the entire SuperBottoms family, Rebecca.
Thank you so much, Shweta. If you guys have any questions, so please do post it on the community. I would be glad to answer it later. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Tribers, for tuning in and joining us in this live session. Stay tuned for more interesting and exciting live sessions throughout the month. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Shweta.